We were in Perek Vav of Demai, Mishnah, let's go for Mishnah Tes, so 6th Perek, 9th Mishnah.
Could you just hold till I catch up?
Yes, I can wait for you to find the place.
So one more time,
Chapter 6, Mishnah 9.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you, Shkar. Thank you.
So again, these Mishnayos are dealing with the idea that if I have something that I didn't take Meiser from, I may not give it to somebody else for whom I don't trust to take Meiser, but I'm not obligated to make sure he takes Meiser from his stuff. So if it's not mine and I can view it as being his property, then it's his problem and not my problem. So Mishnah Tes begins.
Do you have to tell him that though?
Yeah, because the assumption is he knows. Yes, you're not hiding information from him. You're just not taking care of his responsibilities for it.
Okay.
So Mishnah Tes begins. Chaver v'amaretz shiur shuasavim. If you have two brothers, one is a chaver, one is particular to take off meiser, and one's an amaretz, one's not, and they inherit their father's estate, who was an amaretz, who is not particular about meiser. So now they have all their father's property, including produce, and that produce, the chaver is going to be careful to separate because of demai, and the amaretz brother is not. So they're able to, he could say to his brother, I'll take the wheat on the north side of the field, you take the wheat on the south side of the barn, you take the wheat on the south side of the barn, and we'll split it that way, and the chaver brother will take mice from his, and the amaretz brother will do whatever he does with his. Or at the yain shemakom pleni, van the yain shemakom pleni, because you take the wine on the north side, I'll take the wine on the south side. The same idea, because this way, or their father's estate belongs to the two of them collectively, and when they split it, they're essentially saying this will be the portion that I inherited, and that'll be the portion you inherited, and they're not responsible for each other. They can't say tul atachitim vanisoirim, that you take all the wheat and I'll take all the barley, because then essentially what they're doing is one brother is exchanging his portion of the wheat they inherited for his brother's portion of the barley that they inherited. Or similarly, you can't say tul ata halach vani etul hayavish. You take the stuff that's wet, the stuff that has gotten wet, and I'll take the stuff that's still dry, which is something a chaver would want to do, because as long as produce has not gotten wet, it's not susceptible to tumah, and since he's particular about tumah, if it got wet, he wouldn't be able to eat it. And then Mishnah Yud is not a Demai case, but the same idea. If you have a ger v'ayvikuchav, you have a convert and a non-Jewish brother, shiur shuasavim, who inherit their father's estate, who is an avikuchav, who is not Jewish. So then Yachlu Leimer, the Jewish brother, can say tul ata v'ayvikuchav vani mos. From our father's estate, I don't have any need for these idols. You keep them. I'll take money instead. Or ata yain, you take wine, because that wine is going to be yain nesach, and it's going to be forbidden to get hana from it. Vani peres, and that's not considered selling the avodah zarah or selling the wine to his brother. Just saying, I don't want to take that part of the estate. I'll take something else instead. However, in mishabol or rishusa, if he already got hager, if the ger already got control of them, then it's usher, because then that would be very much like selling or exchanging something of avodah zarah or yain nesach, which are asur bahana, which are forbidden to get any benefit from, and he would not be allowed to do that. Okay, Mishnah Yud Aleph is a new concept. Hamaycher peres b'Syria. So if someone's selling fruits in Syria, Syria is the part of Eretz Yisrael that was conquered in the times of Yeshua when they originally left Eretz Yisrael, when they originally came to Eretz Yisrael. But the second time around, when Ezra came back up from Bavel, they did not conquer it again. So it does not really have Kedusha, but the Rabbanan said there's a requirement to take meiser from things that grow there. But there's much more produce that came from outside of Eretz Yisrael and Syria, because already you're farther away from the central Eretz Yisrael location. So normally, if you buy fruits over there, you don't have to. You do not have to worry about meiser, because there's much less of a concern, because chances are it did not grow locally and it came from wherever outside of Eretz Yisrael. However, you buy from a fellow, he tells you of Amr Mishal Eretz Yisrael Hein. He tells you these produce you're buying, these are Israeli produce. So then chayiv laser. Then obviously you're going to have, assuming he's an amaretz, you don't trust him by having taken off meisers, so you'll have to take off meiser. However, if he tells you musarenheim, if he tells you I bought these fruits from Eretz Yisrael and I took off meiser, then he's neman, because we have a concept shapesha aser hu hapesha hitter. Literally, the mouth that forbade it is the mouth that permitted it. So if you're going to believe, you can't believe him about half his statement. If you trust him that there's a problem, so trust him that he fixed the problem. If you're not going to trust him that he fixed the problem, don't trust that there's a problem in the first place, and then you don't have any problem.
But if he's outside of Israel, we're assuming that fruit is not susceptible to
Right.
and not obligated. But susceptible is not a good word. Obligated.
Mishalihain, if he tells you the fruits are his, and he lives in Syria, so then chayav laser, because you assume again that they grow in his field in Syria. However, musar and hain, again he tells you they're mine, and I took mine, so he's neman. Forget for the same idea. Shapeshas, the mouth that forbade it, who apesh hitter, that same source is telling you that it's permitted. However, if you know this guy selling fruits has a field in Syria, then you're chayiv laser without him telling you, because once he has a field there becomes a much stronger assumption that it's coming from his field. Okay.
What's the point?
If you just, in general, you're not concerned that fruit you buy in Syria was grown locally, right, unless the person you're buying it from has a field in Syria. Then you would be concerned it came from his field. Simple point. If the person selling the produce has a field in Syria, you would be concerned it grew in his field. As opposed to if you're buying from a storekeeper, you're not concerned it grew in Syria. You assume it came from outside of Eretz Yisrael.
Oh.
And finally, Mishnah Yud Beis, the last Mishnah in the Perek. Ama Aretz Sh'amar L'chaver. If Am Aretz asks his friend the Chaver, Klach li agudas yerek, can you do me a favor and pick up a bunch of vegetables at the store for me? So, or Kach li gluskan echad, or pick up a loaf of bread at the bakery, you're going anyway. Buy one for me also. So that's fine. L'keach stam upater. You could buy it for him and give it to him. You're not giving him your thing, so you don't have any obligation to take off meiser for him. It's his. You're just the courier. However, if when you go to the store, you say, I'm buying this one for myself and I'm buying this one for my friend, and then they get mixed up, and you can't tell which one is which, then you have a problem. Then you're chayav las, then you have to take off meiser on whatever you're going to give him, because maybe what you're giving him is in fact your stuff. Even if there are 100 of them, you can't. Still, his is one of them. You don't know which one, so I'm going to give him one that, or whatever, however many I'm going to give him. Those whichever ones I give him, it's a concern that maybe I'm exchanging with the one that's really his for ones that are mine, and therefore I would have to take off meiser before I can give them to him. Okay.